When a Florida man won a multi-million-dollar lottery jackpot, he probably didn't realize he may well have been setting off a bizarre chain of events that would end with his murder. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis for our series, Crime and Punishment.
Abraham Shakespeare probably thought he was the luckiest man in the world when he won $30 million in the Florida lottery in November of 2006. But his luck would change in a horrific way. And now this woman, DeeDee Moore, is on trial for his murder. Moore sobbed in court today after jurors listened to audio recordings of her allegedly agreeing to a scheme in which another man would take the blame for Shakespeare's death. It was the latest bombshell in this scandalous trial.
There was a person he knew who was willing to take the rap for his disappearance for what I think we will, what reports say is about $50,000.
Shakespeare went from washing dishes and working garbage trucks in Lakeland, Florida, a suburb of Tampa, to what he thought was the good life. But that quick pick ticket quickly turned his life upside down.
I really would like my old life back where I could walk the streets like a normal person.
He spent most of the money paying off mortgages for family, friends, and some complete strangers. Many new friends came into Shakespeare's life, including Moore, who offered to help manage his money. In this home video, you can hear her asking him about his situation.
Do you get tired of people asking you for money all the time, Abe?
They don't take no for an ounce or so.
3 years later, the money had all but disappeared. And then Shakespeare did too. He was last seen in April of 2009, but wasn't reported missing until November, when Nightline spoke to the sheriff investigating the case.
Where is Abraham Shakespeare?
We have no idea where Abraham Shakespeare is.
On January 28, 2010, police found Shakespeare's body underneath a concrete slab, buried in the backyard of DeeDee Moore.
But you know I'm not the one that shot him. I wouldn't hurt him.
Then who did, DeeDee? Tell us.
Moore's maintained all along she's innocent, but the 40-year-old is now charged with first-degree murder, facing a mandatory sentence of life in prison. Prosecutors paint a picture of Moore as a conniving manipulator, intent on taking Shakespeare's cash. First, she allegedly tried to convince Shakespeare's mother, Elizabeth Walker, that her son was still alive, just missing, orchestrating a phone call with someone claiming to be her son.
He said, "It's Abraham." And I said, "Well, you don't sound like Abraham."
Then her ex-husband, James, testified that he dug a hole with a backhoe and then covered it up at his former wife's request.
You pay attention to what was in the hole before you filled it?
No, sir.
But the prosecution's star witness is Greg Smith, a mutual friend of Moore and Shakespeare's turned police informant. In secretly taped conversations, Moore is heard spinning an elaborate web of lies. Yesterday, Smith described the pains Moore allegedly took to write a forged letter to Shakespeare's mother as though it were from her son, who happened to be illiterate. The letter starts out with, "I am gone and don't have to come back."
Don't worry about Dee. If she goes to jail, she will be okay. The charges won't stick.
Today, the tape where she allegedly agreed to the scheme where another man would take the blame.
He could cop a deal.
Even if he cop a deal, it's going to be on him.
And perhaps the most incriminating exchange, Smith testified she drew pictures for him of how to find Shakespeare's body, telling him to get rid of it and burn it.
She wanted me to burn the body, so I had to give her, during that time, a list also of kerosene and a water trough, such as you would give cattle water in, for me to be able to burn the body.
Yet another courtroom shocker, Detective David Clark testified Moore got so desperate after he caught her in another lie that she offered to have sex with him.
She told me that she could get a free room at the Hard Rock Casino and her perform sexual acts on me.
In one of the secretly recorded conversations with Smith, Moore told him,
"I've never been through nothing like this in my life.
It's time to get ready."
She went on to say they'd have to write a book about their experience when they turned 80 years old. If the prosecution prevails, she may be writing it from jail. I'm Lindsay Davis for Nightline in New York.